Hi, welcome to episode 12. We thought we'd do something a bit different tonight. We'd go over some basic techniques and some things that might help all you crazy white belts. Starting with showing you how to tie your belt and moving on to stuff that you can do as you start rolling. And just take a look at it. Try and make you feel more comfortable when you put in the situation that we say, right, go and roll. So welcome to episode 12. As you first walk into the academy, which I know is the most intimidating thing you're probably ever going to do in your jiu-jitsu journey. Like I always say that the hardest class you will ever do is the first class you go to. Not because the class will be hard, it'll be the most friendly environment you've ever seen, but the anxiety building up to that moment, I understand. I've been there, everyone's been there, every black belt that you've ever seen has been there. So we've tried to make it as a nice environment as you can. So you come through the front door and you'll walk through and you'll see the friendly face of Gret, and she will greet you and she'll tell you exactly what you need to know. She'll kick you, don't worry about clothes, anything like that. She'll kick you out with a gi, one of our intro gis that I promise you'll be clean. We clean them every single session, so you're not going to have some dirty gi, so it isn't going to smell or anything. So we'll give you a gi to wear for the class, and then you get involved. We move on to the other parts of jumping in the class and how it works, and then at the end of the class we just ask you to come and have a quick chat with Gret, tell you how you got on, and then we give you all the options of going forward with jiu-jitsu if you wanted to. If you didn't enjoy it, which I can't imagine why you wouldn't, we'll wish you on your way, and you know, always welcome to pop in and say hello again. I remember when I first started jiu-jitsu, I remember coming in and I'd done no gi for a while, so I'd never put a belt on, or at least since I was a kid, and my mom did it for me in karate. So I thought I'd show you how to tie your belt basically. There's loads of fancy knots. Don't get yourself blagged at all. Just go for the most basic knot, and then as time goes, you can start going fancier and fancier. So when you get your belt, get it halfway so that both ends are touching the mat when you hold in the middle. That middle will sit in front. Now when you close your gi, if it's Gracie Barra, make sure the Gracie Barra badge is over the other lapel. So your left hand lapel will usually go over your right hand lapel. So we get nice and close, nice and tidy. Hold that, and then we place that from the centre around the back. Okay? So we make sure we've got the same length there at the front, and we pull it back into the middle. And all we do, little detail, we grab both sides there, we take this one, the right hand one, we go over the top. Now you go under both. If you can zoom in, come in Abdul, come back Abdul. Boom to there. Okay? Then again, we place the top one over the top in that fashion. We don't tie it like a normal knot. We go over the top, and then we go through, and we grab that one, and then we pull it tight so that it sits perfectly. If you mess that last bit up, this is what you'll get. This is what all white belts do. That, and that looks ugly. So we go over the top, through, and that'll sit nice and together. And that knot shouldn't come undone because we've gone behind the back. So yeah, enjoy. Okay guys, little etiquette detail. So when you come into the gym, you'll see the edge of the mat here. Now, under no circumstances ever stand on the mat with your shoes or your flip-flops on. If you come in shoes from outside, we ask you to go into the changing rooms and put some sliders on, some flip-flops, something like that. Some people wear slippers, just whatever you feel comfortable in. And then when you come onto the matted area, we ask you to take your flip-flops off, put them into the shoe closet. What's it called? Shoe rack. And before you enter the matted area, we bow and we walk on. And that's how we enter the mat at Gracie Barra. There's no pressure to do any of the bowing stuff, but it's just an etiquette thing. It's just a respect for the matted area. So yeah, cool. So the sort of next little detail that you need to know about the Gracie Barra Gym is at the start of class, we all line up along this blue mounted wall in our academy. Other academies are different, but this is where we line up. So at the top end, nearest the window, we'd have the highest ranked in the class, which is usually like a purple or a brown belt maybe. right down to your sort of intro classes. So it goes by rank. When I say rank, you've got white, blue, purple, brown, black. So a white belt could be an intro, so like a no stripe white belt. Then after a few weeks, they might get a stripe on their white belt. Then they would be in front of the intro. Then if they got another, they would go in front of the next person with one stripe, and so on. So it's like a hierarchy of belt colours. And then all we do is we line up along this wall. The coach will stand over that side. He'll give his pre-class speech, just explain what we're going to be doing, what week it is, a little bit about the curriculum and what we'll be going over in that particular lesson. And then we'll start the class by looking at the masters, bowing to the masters, then bow to yourselves, and then you'll grab a space and we'll start the Gracie Barra warm-up. The next part of this class will be, we'll line up along this wall. We've done all of our bowing, bow to the masters, and then the coach or professor will say, we'll do the Gracie Barra warm-up. By that we do a list of like star jumps, squats, press-ups, and the coach or professor will shout 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the class as a whole will go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So when everyone starts shouting that, get involved. It gets you as part of the team, and it gets you involved in the class, which is the most intimidating part of the whole thing. So so you always feel welcome and feel like a part of something. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out. Okay guys, I wanted to look at something that happens at the end of most classes, which is sparring. You don't have to jump into sparring if you don't feel comfortable, but it is good fun, and whoever you go with tend to look after you and they'll give you more techniques. If you sit out and do the drill, that's cool. I'll just set you aside with one of my higher belts and they'll just look after you for the next sort of 10 or 15 minutes. But one thing that I've noticed when I'm coaching is when people that are just starting, or even right up to like one stripe, you'll catch them at the start of sparring and they don't know what to do. So for instance, like when we're running a class, we don't teach anything off the knees. We don't start every class and say, right, so on the knees, what you do is this. We usually show like a throw, a guard pull, or something like that from the feet, because that's what it would be in a sports situation, or in hopefully you never come across a street situation, but you'd be looking for a takedown, you'd be looking to clinch up and take them down. But then at the end of class, and I'll say, right, sparring, start from your knees. Well, all of a sudden, that's a completely foreign act. You know, you've just done a whole class standing or in a position on the ground, and now all of a sudden I'm saying, go down to your knees and start grappling. And what tends to happen is, if Greg comes down to her knees for a minute, what you'll tend to do, go for knees if you can, what you'll tend to find is they will end up in this sort of Frankenstein, just like this. Nothing's going to come of that. There's like, the only person that's going to win that is the big strong guy, and especially if you get a big guy against a little guy, or a girl, or you know, someone that maybe isn't as strong as you. So my rule of thumb is, and this is how I've always played my jiu-jitsu, because I am a lump. I would always say, if you're heavier than your opponent, or if you're higher level, then really you should pull some type of guard. You should fall to your butt and allow them to play a top game, because it's easier to win a top game than it is to have a good bottom game, and it's obviously a little bit less stressful being squashed on the ground and stuff. So rule number one, I would say, is if you're a big guy or big girl, you know, if you're heavier than your opponent by a substantial amount, I would pull guard, I would pull some type of guard, and that is where I'd work from. Number one, it'll get you better at sweeping, which is important in a sports situation, in a fight situation. You want to be able to get off your back on top, or off your back and standing back up as efficiently as you possibly can. Rule number two, I would say, decide where you want that match. Where do you want this roll to go? Do I want to take their back? Do I want to play guard? Do I want to hit some type of sweep that I've been working on? What have we just learnt in the class? Have we done a guard technique? Have we done a back mount technique? And try and take it to that position and try and work the technique that we've just worked. Don't just instantly go to your A game, because if you instantly go to your A game every single time, your A game will be up here, but every other part of your jiu-jitsu will be just trash. So try and level up, try and learn from each session with your coach, with your professor, and take it into your rounds. If you don't, it's a waste of time even starting. So what I wanted to do was just look at a couple of options from the knees. So sometimes your coach will say, we're going to do specifics, and they'll give you a detail of where they want you to work from. So you'll have everyone lined up, we'll number people out, then 2 or 3 of the people will lie down or get into a position like a turtle position. Again, if these are phrases you don't know, don't worry, it will come with time. And you'll have probably just done it in the class, so you'll know what it means then. But if your coach says, or professor says, right, we're sparring and we're starting from these, that means we're literally going to start like this. Now, before the round starts, before any type of Jiu-Jitsu starts, whether that's standing or whatever, we always slap hands and bump knuckles. It's just a respect thing. So you go bang, bang, and now the match is on. So at that point, don't be one of these guys that goes, don't be that guy. You go, and then you go, okay? So now we're in an even position. So if I'm looking at Gret, if it was me and Gret in a roll, it would be me pulling guard because she's obviously a lot smaller. But for the argument's sake, I want to get top position. So what I talked about before was like the Frankenstein stuff. So we're both just like this. So don't even start that. So if you want top position, there's a couple of tricks that I do to get top position. Again, being a hefty bloke, I don't tend to take top position from the start. I tend to fall to my butt, allow them to play and hit a sweep if I can. Backfires quite a lot as well, so be prepared for that, it's well fun. So when I'm in this position, I'm looking at Gret and her legs are narrow, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to topple her straight over. I want the top position. I don't want to get into this game here where she's going to grab me back, we're going to be going like this. There's no point, just go straight in and sweep straight away. And a couple of options are, firstly this option. What I'm going to do, I'm going to collar tie. I'm not throwing a big daft hook. I'm literally collar tying, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to tap my left hand and I'm going to put it to the outside of her knee, and we're going to do something called a knee tap. You do this from standing, you'll probably learn it down the line, but it's so simple and really effective just to start a match. So if I'm starting a match with Gret, okay, we're going to go bang, bang. What I'm going to do is this. That's all it is. So I'm pushing her like the top's pushing that way, the bottom's pushing that way. Her knees will close and she'll fall over. So it's as simple as that. Not really seeing it from behind. Okay. So the motion is I'm coming to the back of her neck and to the outside of her knee, and all I'm doing is pushing and pushing. So it's like this, and then I'm getting my top position. You can then get straight into side control. You can get into mount if you're really quick. She might roll away, at which point you just grab the back and pull them in. But it's more about the detail at the very start, because I'm just giving you these little nuggets because as a white belt, we don't know how to start. So we have to look at how we start this position. And the best way to get a top position is, as I say, a collar tie, outside tap, and we're just going to push to side control. Okay? Hope that helps you. So that's number one. Number two is my favourite. I do this now to this day. So if you this is going to be the, yeah. Okay, so that was number one. So number two is my favourite. I still do this to this day because it's really cheeky. And all it is I'm going to look for a cross collar grip. So when it's collar grip, it's the same side. When it's a cross collar grip, we're going to the opposite collar. So right hand to her right, so it's across her body. I'm going to grip the outside sleeve, and all I'm going to do is fall to my butt and kick her knee out, and then get into mount position. So if I say wanted mount, I'd fall to this straight away, okay? I'm not back like this, I'm always active, okay? And all I'm going to do is grip, and then I'm just going to kick against this and pull her over. If I get the mount, happy days. If I just sweep her and I get side control, that's fine as well. So if we go back, so we're bumping knuckles, bang, bang. I'm just going to go to here, straight away. My head's in front of my hips. I'm not allowing her to pass. she will more than likely start standing up and stuff, but if you're quick, you'll hit this. So from here, all I'm going to do is go inside, grab this sleeve, and literally just push that leg back and pull her forward. Easy, easy life. And if you're really slick, if it's your intro and you've seen a few arm bars, you can come straight to an arm bar from there and go straight into it. But that's something to play with down the line. So option number 3, what we're going to do, all we're going to do is we're going to slap hands, boom, boom, and then we're ready to go, okay? I'm going to instantly, I'm not going to grab collars, I'm not going to play any of this stuff, I'm going to go straight for her sleeve, okay? So off the sleeve, I'm going to grab the back of her tricep, and off this, I'm going to pull her into this space here. So all it is sleeve, there. She can grab all this stuff, it really doesn't matter, because what I'm about to do will just throw her straight up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this down into this gap, and I'm going to pull with my left hand down as well, like this. Boom. As soon as I'm here, you see how I maintain that grip? That stops her turning back into me, so try and turn back in. Yeah, see how it stops it, okay? So if you get back to that, then from here, I'd come to here, and I'd start looking for back control. However, I could maintain that if I wanted. There are obviously chokes and stuff from Turtle, but it's literally just to get to this position. That's the hardest bit. So we're looking for position first, and then we move on to submission. So that's just a couple of ways that I like to get to positions. Obviously there's other options, like if I'm the big guy, what I tend to do, I'll start almost every single roll the same way. I will go straight into half guard, because half guard is hard to work from in comparison to say full guard. I could pull full guard and I could lock it up and we could have a round of me just holding my legs closed. So I like to give half guard, so at least, if I'm with a lower belt, obviously that is, or a smaller guy, I give them half guard so they can start working, and I have to really work to get my full guard, then I have to really work to get the sweep. So just something to think about really. So if I'm pulling like half guard, I would come here, I'd lift my one leg up, bang, bang, and I'd literally grab pace, just go to here, and then I'm in half guard, and then we're playing through all this sort of stuff. There's like sweeps, all that sort of stuff, you know. So that will probably come down the line now. And then finally, I'm just going to show you a cheeky butt scoop. We do these as part of our warm-up, which is like a butt scoop. So we're literally on our butt, and we're like this. We do it as part of the warm-up. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to start on my knees, touch hands, bang, bang. I'm slapping, that's another thing. Bang, okay? So from here, what I'm going to do is go straight to my butt, and I'm going to look instantly to pull guard, open my legs. That's your guard pull, okay? So here, me and Gret, bang, bang. Grab. Doesn't matter what she grabs, because I'm giving up top position. I base, full guard, okay? And then from here, you start looking to switch, look for the back from here. That's where the game starts going. So don't wait, the point of this is don't waste all of your time Frankensteining. You know, you want to, as soon as the round starts, beep, it goes, and straight away, let's go. Just go. Enjoy the round. Don't let your ego take control that you've got to win the strong person competition. Just get into the round, start working your techniques and enjoy it. That's pretty much all I can say. But as I said earlier, come down and try it out. Everyone's welcome, so let's go. So that was episode 12, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, notifications, share again, go on Instagram, go on Facebook, share again, go on LinkedIn, go write it in your diary, and then when someone steals your diary it'll say Gracie Barra Rugeley. Let's just share it, let's try and make something happen. Cheers guys.